After Marvin's confession, the group deliberated if they should actually kill Marvin. Chris thinks if they don't kill Marvin, he would snitch on them to Lefrak. Grania already told Shauna the vampires could be killed when a wooden stick is used to stab them. Chris got a wooden stick around, they kept arguing if he should be killed or not. But Marvin broke his chain and attacked them first, and Shauna attacked him in defense with the wooden stick. She used it on Marvin's heart, and he became dust. Coming out, Chris told Shauna he's in for no more surprises, so he gave Shauna his phone number and told her to call him when she strategizes her plan to kill Lefrak. She got to Lefrak's location and stalked him both day and night, together with the help of Pedro. One day, she realized she was being stalked, but she didn't bother checking. She got to know the vampires also ordered the ladies at night. I mean, prostitutes, so she thinks she can enter when they disguise as a prostitute. She went back to Grania and they planned to enter together. Grania told her, with her research, she got to know that the vampires can brainwash a person, so the prostitutes were probably brainwashed. To avoid that, they try to remember an experience to keep them in reality. While she and Grania planned their entry, Pedro and Chris helped out with the exit plans by getting them garlic powder and other instruments. She worked on her attack skills herself. The night before the planned attack, she couldn't sleep. The next morning, she saw Jamal already packing up all their mom's stuff and giving up. In the evening, the exact time for the attack, the four of them met at Lefrak's apartment. She needed someone to help her tie the wooden stick to her legs, and Chris helped her. She asked Chris why he's so involved, but he didn't give her a response. When they were about to enter the apartment, she saw the car stalking her again, but she didn't bother. When they got to the gate, Grania wanted to retreat, but the guards already told him to enter. When they entered, Shauna heard the preacher at Umbro preaching there. Lefrak was ready for them. Shauna entered his room. He told her he likes them fair and young, but he would make an exception for her. She had to remove her chain. She told him she wanted to use the toilet. She went in and came back. Lefrak wanted to use the physiological mind game on her. She thought of happy memories with her mom, and she held on to the memory. Outside the mansion, Chris and Pedro were spraying garlic powder all over. The street preacher wanted to warn Lefrak, but before he got inside, Shauna had achieved her goal. She had killed him. The guys entered and sprayed garlic to let the girls escape. They retired to Shauna's home. Jamal was home, but Steven had gone to work. They were shocked the other vampires didn't die after Lefrak died, which means that he's not dead. Shauna thinks probably the street preacher is the head. Suddenly, they heard a loud knock at the door. Grania told them, according to her research, vampires cannot break into people's homes unless they're invited, so they should be at rest and not open the door. But it happened otherwise. The vampires broke into the house and attacked all of them. Someone opened the door, and it was Shauna's stalker. He entered and killed all the vampires. The stalker goes by the name Tundi. Tundi is one of the oldest vampires. He's about 800 years old. He's been in a clash with Babino, the street preacher, for over a century. Babino was a slave during the trade. He had seen humans in their wicked state. One day he was bitten by a vampire and he turned. He went ahead to kill his master, and he became a vampire supremacist. To Babino, humans are just prey. After the storm, he became worse. He took the homeless and the people who wouldn't be missed, turned them into the vampire army. Tundi was at Babino's place to stalk him when he saw Shauna. He told them the sun doesn't affect old vampires, so he could walk under the sun. Jokingly, Jamal and Shauna would be able to survive as a vampire then. Tundi asked why. And Jamal said it's because she's very dark. Convincing him, Tundi said Shauna is very beautiful and he liked her skin. Chris joined the compliment and told her she's also very beautiful. Tundi called one of his subordinates, Jacobo, to stay with the teens as he goes ahead to fight Babino, although Shauna wanted to follow him and he told her it wasn't her call. Since they were all home, Chris and Shauna had time to talk. Chris told her he's helping her because of his brother who's also an addict. He says she's lucky to see someone she can use her anger on as he can't even get angry at anyone. He told her he meant his compliment earlier as she is very beautiful. Pedro told Shauna he had changed his mind and he would use the opportunity he got at Texas. Tundi had gone to find Babino. Jacobo got a call from Tundi telling him Babino had gotten to hide. Jacobo told the teens. They knew there was a slave tunnel in the house, which the old master had used to hide slaves since Babino was a slave. He most likely knew the tunnel and should be there. The teens knew Jacobo wouldn't allow them to go, so they told Jamal to pour garlic powder at Jacobo so they could go. Outside Shauna's home, Grania told them that she could no longer get involved and they bid her bye. The trio then went to the tunnel to find Babineau. They found Babineau and they attacked him. He overpowered them, they all fell and passed out. Babineau wanted to attack Shauna, but Pedro stabbed him. Unfortunately, he missed the heart. He was attacked by Babineau's subordinates and was feasted on. Babineau asked Shauna what or who she lost that made her this angry. She said she lost her mother. He told her he gave her mother power and a shot at immortality, and he didn't take her mother from her. He tried to convince Shauna that he's righting the wrongs and Shauna should join him. She told him she would rather die than join him. He attacked her, wanted to suck her dry, but she threw her silver chain into his mouth and burned him. He got destabilized, so she was able to stab him, after which she became dust. Pedro had died. The next day, Pedro was buried. She decided to live happily and smile because that was how Pedro always wanted them to live. She's sad to lose her mother and her best friend, but she also gained some friends too. She and Jamal became the best siblings ever. He had a strong friendship with Grania and she started dating Chris. She took over the protest and called for people to sign petitions so Umbra would not be torn down. One night, she heard a knock on her door. She thought it was Chris and went ahead to open the door. However, it was Pedro. He had turned into a vampire. The movie ended. I hope you enjoyed the recap. Thank you for staying with me. Remember to subscribe to our channel so you can get notified when we post our next recap. See you next time.